In this example, we're asked to evaluate the following functions and to write our answers as integers or reduced fractions. So let's start with this one here, and we will write the formula f of x equals 3x squared minus x. And we're asked to find f of negative 9. So that means find the output of the function when the input is negative 9. And the input is x, so we're going to replace each x with negative 9 in parentheses. So 3 times negative 9 squared minus negative 9. Now we're going to evaluate this using the order of operations. Well, first we need to do parentheses. Let's write this over here. Negative 9 times negative 9, that's 2 factors of negative 9, gives us a positive 81. So this is 3 times 81 minus negative 9. Now we have multiplication between 3 and 81 and subtraction. So we do multiplication first in the order of operations. So 3 times 81 is 243 minus negative 9. And finally, we'll do the subtraction. So subtracting a negative is the same as adding this opposite. So the opposite of negative 9 is positive 9. So this is equivalent to 243 plus a positive 9, which we'll just write as 9. And that would be 252. So our final result is 252. Let's look at the next one. We have g of x equals 5 over 3x. And now we're given an input of negative 2 and we want to find the output of the function g when the input is negative 2. So g of negative 2 is 5 over, replacing x with negative 2 in parentheses. And 5 is just 5. And 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. And this is a simplified fraction, but typically it's a positive divided by a negative, so we can think of this as negative 5/6 as opposed to 5 divided by negative 6, and we think of that as being simpler. So negative 5/6. Let's look at the next one. T of n equals the absolute value of n. So we are given the input of negative 6. So we want the output, the function t, evaluated for n equals negative 6, is the absolute value of negative 6. So remember, absolute value means the number's distance from 0. So how far is negative 6 from 0? Well, its distance is positive 6, or just 6. Let's look at the next one. K of x equals 2 raised to the x power. And we're given an input of 4. We're asked to evaluate the function k when the input is 4. So we have k of 4 equals 2 to the 4th power. Well, 2 to the 4th power means 4 factors of 2, or 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And we can just multiply across. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So k of 4 equals 16. Let's look at the next one. D of r equals 2 times r raised to the 3rd power. And we're given a value of r of negative 7. So we have 2 times negative 7 raised to the third power. So notice that 2r times r is in parentheses, so we do the operation in parentheses before the exponents. That's the order of operations. So we have negative 14 raised to the third power. Okay. And I'm going to do this on the calculator. This means negative 14 times itself 3 times, or 3 factors of negative 14. So since it's 3 negatives, I know the answer is going to be negative. So a negative times a negative is positive, times another negative is negative. And I'm just going to find what 14 to the third power is. So 14 to the third is 2,744. So we have negative 2,744 as our result. And now we have one question left. P of n equals 1 over n squared. And we're given that n is negative 5. So P of negative 5 equals 1 over, make sure you put negative 5 in parentheses. Now negative 5 squared means 2 factors of negative 5. This is negative 5 times negative 5. And the product of 2 negatives is positive, so we have 1 over 25. And that's our final result, and that's a simplified fraction.